it was really nice of them, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, it sounds, when you love what you do as much as you do, no doubt you've got lots of supporters that have helped you along the way. I mean, you've obviously got a great family, your husband that supports everything that you're doing, and, those people at the gym that are supporting as well. So it's great to see you've got some fans that are, pushing you on. So therefore you can go off and you can compete.
Yeah, I've got a great fan base, I think, especially locally in Athlete and CrossFit where I train. So yeah, they and they push me, like at the CrossFit. Let's say I usually train at 7 o'clock in the morning, and the class is basically full of boys. So I train with the boys mainly. There's not so many girls doing that time class. I mean, there is some, every so often the girls. So, but I tend to train with the boys more because it pushes me to try harder, because they're naturally stronger than me and better than me. So I'm just trying to catch up with them.
I'm pretty confident you're going to out-train most of the guys.
I can outlift some of the guys there. Yes, that's for sure. Same in Athlete, I like to go there. It's different environment again, and not everybody is like me there. Like especially women. I'd like to think I'm the strongest one there, I think. And all them girls, when they see me lifting, they keep shouting at me and, like, come on, we're watching you. And it's so encouraging and it's so nice that they do that for me, especially when they know that I'm trying for personal best or something like that. So they make a laugh of it. So, yeah, it's really good.
I think, like we touched on before, having those people supporting you, cheering you on, it's going to make a difference. Mentally, it's going to make a difference because it just gives you that extra push, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
You don't want to let them down, and then from somewhere you get this extra energy.
Yeah, and it's I think because they especially in Athletes, the clients in there, they are more like a family, and they want to see you succeed, and they will try and push you, which is lovely, which is really nice. So yeah, and I appreciate that.
That's good. So looking into the future over the next number of years, what's your hope? What do you think you can get out of the sport? In the next few years, what are your kind of dreams around what you want to get out of it?
Obviously, I am getting a little bit older now, so next year I will turn 40. Wow.
Okay.
So
I'd never have guessed that. No way.
Yes. Next year. Sorry, this is a little bit.
It's okay. Just move it.
A little bit. So yeah, next year I'm turning 40, and in a strongman world, after 40 you can go into the masters category.
Okay.
And I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, but because I automatically qualified for some of the competitions, so obviously I'm going to try to get as far as I can next year again. Obviously, the ultimate goal is, again, to get to the Arnolds, and let's see how the Clash Series goes, and Naturals, hopefully to defend my title. But I've heard already some of the girls are planning on to enter that competition, and I know they are really good, so I've got to have my fingers crossed so I can keep my title. If not, I won't be that upset because I've held it for 4 years. So it's about the time, right? maybe not. I don't know.
So has that been 4 consecutive years you've had?
There was 1 year break because there was a COVID, so the competition didn't happen. But if we take the COVID out, yes, it would have been.
4 times British natural
yes.
champion.
Yeah. So, and from there again to go to Finland, but looking at the dates, the World Championship is going to be in Finland. They already announced that for next 3 years, which is early September. And Arnolds are usually end of September, so I don't know. It depends if I qualify. If I don't qualify, I will have to make decisions which suits me better. And then, I don't know, I was maybe thinking to retire from Strongman, because if I compete with under 64s, them girls are maybe 10 years younger than me. I am quite old. I'm one of the oldest ones there. There is one 50-year-old lady competing with me as well. But it's getting really hard, especially for the recovery. And the masters don't have a weight category.
Right.
So I can go against to a lady who is 20 kilos heavier than me. And naturally she will lift more because, she can have more muscles and, so I don't know. It depends how it works out. If they introduce weight categories in the masters, maybe there is something to think of. Or if they know, I might just, when I stop doing well, I might just pack it in and start concentrating on CrossFit, because I've already been asked by Chris when I'm going to start competing in CrossFit. Because I'm not bad. I mean, there is still some skills I need to develop and learn, but yeah.
So do you think you would compete with CrossFit just like you're doing now? Because I feel like if you weren't out there competing, because you've done this since school, where you've competed as you're doing athletics like you were talking about, and if you don't have this piece, I think you're going to miss something that you love doing. So do you think you would compete as CrossFit?
I think I will. I've done a couple of competitions in the
Oh, you
CrossFit.
have?
Yeah, I have. I have done a mixed pair masters in Colchester, actually, beginning of this year, with my friend. Became third, and I've done. There was not long ago a competition in a Newbury, and I've been asked to fill in for one of the girls. She got a COVID, so I went to compete as a 4-man team,
Yeah.
2 girls, two boys. So I did that, and obviously I did NFG games, but NFG games is not too CrossFitty because of there's a bit of strength. It's like a 4 elements. So I did that with my friend in London last year, and I actually doing one in November with another 2 girls in
Okay.
Birmingham.
Oh, so you've already dipped your toe.
Oh yeah.
Very much so. You've
Yeah,
already been doing some.
Yeah, I'm not that bad, but strongman is still my priority.
Yeah. Let's talk about briefly about the CrossFit piece that you've been doing, because I always think, in those CrossFit competitions, when you turn up, it must be such a mental challenge when you're training for something, but you don't know what the training's going to be for. So, because am I right in saying that on the day, that's when you find out what you're going to be competing in? So you don't necessarily know what the workouts are going to be until you get there on the competition that day, on the CrossFit ones.
I every competition I went to, I knew.
Oh, you did?
Yes, this one, what I'm doing in November with 2 of my friends. We don't know the event. We don't know what the workouts are. But
so you turn up and then you find out when you get there.
Yeah, that can be. Yeah.
That's tough. So it could be quite a big range.
Yes, it can be anything.
Wow.
I'm looking forward to it because everybody's in the same boat. You either can do it or not.
So how do you train for that? Because leading up to that type of thing, obviously you're doing your strongman competition, you're doing your strongman workouts, you're doing your CrossFit. I mean, you almost have to have an expertise in every movement in some respects.
I don't have an expertise, but I am very fortunate because of my olden athletics days and because of my natural ability to adapt really quickly. I can pick up and learn the movements quite quickly. I don't need to practice it in, day out. I just do it a few times and I pick it up really quickly. I'm just very fortunate. And the same it goes to the strength. I mean, yes, I am quite small, I'd like to think. But I do get asked quite often by people, like, how you can pick up those weights? You are so tiny. But I can generate that power from my muscles somehow. I'm just very fortunate. I don't, it is what it is. It's just magic.
Yeah. Well, it's also, you've been doing this for a lot of years
Yes.
as well. So I imagine that you've got that inner strength that's been built over that period of time. So therefore, when you go on to the next thing, then you've already got all the years of muscle memory that's been there already.
Yeah.
But also then there's just a natural enthusiasm and motivation, I think, that you've got to do it anyway. So you're excited about it.
Yeah, I just want to do well. I just want to learn new skills and I want to be able to do things. I might not be the best, like especially CrossFit. I'm not, I'm nowhere near where I would love to be, but I don't concentrate on it too much because as I said, strongman is my priority, and that's what I need to prioritize when it comes to the training, because that's what I'm competing full time, if you want to say it that way right now. So when I stop strongman, then I probably start concentrating more on CrossFit and learn those skills and try and improve them.
So if you were to offer someone advice, so someone's looking at you now thinking, I want to be a world champion just like you, what do they need to do to become a strongman world champion in the way that you've done it? Because it sounds like, we talked earlier that you did your first competition in 2016, the Basingstoke competition, and then by 2019, you're now a world champion. And in between that, you've had British strongest women as well, natural strongest women along the journey. So if you're going to give advice to other people watching and they want to achieve what you've achieved, what would you say? What are your top tips?
I would definitely find a good coach who knows what they're doing, or who actually has got some experience as a strong man or strong woman person. So, like, I am very lucky to have James, because he's been a strongman competitor himself, so he knows how difficult some of these movements are, or how complex they are, and he understands how hard it is to get prepared for each competition, and also being able to deliver the coaching session on technicalities as a coach. So the good coach really helps. And also a drive. If you want to do it, you need to put everything in it. You need to have that time, and you need to want it. It doesn't happen overnight, because to train the strength takes a long time. It doesn't happen overnight. It took me a long time to improve. Like, I remember when I lifted 100 kilos deadlift first time, and that was in 2013, and I was buzzing. And now I lift 180 kilos. I mean, yes, I've only improved by 80 kilos, but it's a lot of weight. It took me a long time, but.
And is that mainly through repetition, consistency, just doing that over a lot of period of time? Because of course each week, each month, you're only going to make tiny gains.
Yeah, especially that way. Like, when you start, you improve really quickly, because obviously when you start practicing, you start getting better and better and better. But when you reach your limit, or when you...
Yeah, there's probably a natural maximum.
Yeah, maximum. And then you just need to start improving it by training. And that takes longer time. So naturally you can get so far. And that's by we come into the natural competition and non-tested competition too. So, yeah, I'm very proud to get this far.